beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. I wanted to twirl around, but I'm not on the right kind of floor. Um, Gotta have a hardwood floor or hard surface instead of a carpet. So anyway, I love you so much, and I hope everybody's doing great. And I'm getting ready for 2000, and it would have been funny if it was 2028 because it would have rhymed, but 2026. And I do got to show you, I have a couple friends here. I know you guys weren't expecting they're right over here. I have a couple friends, and Starlight did not introduce my friends to you, and it's so funny how God guides and directs Starlight. And this is, I've had a wild trip. I don't even need, to go on LSD because I'm on my trip of my own with God, with the universe, the things that I'm learning every day, all the time, no matter what. I'm always learning something. So it's amazing journey to go on. So you know how Starlight goes, love, light, and peace, at the end of her video. Well, this is so funny, is because I went to a food pantry, and they let everybody know, hey, you can have 2 toys, for the Christmas time. So I was thinking about my grandson, but I didn't want to, I'm not, like I got a gift in my car for my grandson, but I don't want to give it to him, for Christmas, because I don't want him to think that, it's all about Santa Claus. And so anyway, Starlight, and they actually told us that we can take extras because they had so many toys and they didn't have a whole lot of people, and so they said you could take 3 instead of just 2. So Starlight did. I actually took a couple, and I was thinking about other kids, but then it's kind of funny. Because I do this, I collect things, and then I'll hang on these for a while, and then maybe one day, maybe. Starlight's not into Barbie dolls and all that. Really, I've never really had these kind of things growing up, or even as an adult. Is this is funny? Look at this, love. I don't have. I need a. Anybody wants to. Send Starlight another little bear that would have a star on it. Love. And I got there's the one that's missing is the one with the star, So love, light, and peace. Isn't that so cute? So these guys hanging with me, they're like in their own little seat, their car seat in my car, where the dashboard is, and that's where the glove box is. They're just sitting there. So I get to see them. They hang out with Starlight in her car, making sure Starlight's driving safe. So I just wanted to share how God does exist. There's people that don't, but come on. I go to the food bank. God knew I was going to go to the food bank. There was tons of these little, I don't know, TYBs and TY, I don't know what the TY stands for. Let's see. I can't see if there's anything on there. I don't have my glasses on. But yeah, so I thought that was really cute. Oh, it says, let's say a prayer that peace will come for you, for me, for everyone. And let's see, oh, the other one doesn't have a little heart thing on it. So anyway, I love you so much. So because I took all that time there, now to the message for today. It's so important to be there for the ones who care. There's a lot of times we're there for people who don't care for us. They don't really love us. They say they love us, but it's a show, it's an act. And so this video is to be there for those who really sincerely care. They're the ones that are there through the good times, the bad times, the rough times. They're the ones, when you're struggling and you're going through shit, they're there. They're not judging you. They're there to help you through it. These are people that we really need, and that is why Starlight is so picky to who she calls a friend, because I had to learn the hard way. Don't we all learn the hard way as who is my friend? And like I made lots of videos of people meeting me for the first time, I give them things, and then instantly, they're like, yeah, this Starlight's my friend. I've had guys, and it's not just women that do this, it's men that do this too. Hang on. So, hang on again. I talk to a lot of people. Like right now, Starlight's in her little bubble right now. I just need this time with myself right now. And it's so important. There's nothing wrong. It's not being selfish, because I put a lot of my energy out. And so Starlight just recently got the right kind of sage this time, to cleanse myself and to purify myself and to be more cautious of people that I let in my circle. And it's so important. I do know somebody right now, and it's this world is something else. There's things that we don't know about, and I don't know, there's a name for it. So some of you might have heard of this, and it's for the younger generations, maybe in the 30s, that are doing this. There's a name for it, and I never heard of it, so I'm not going to remember. But it's like, hey, if you need a place to stay, I'm going to open up my door. I don't know you, but I'm going to open up my door, and you can come and sleep on my couch, or maybe they got like a room that you could spend the night, a night at their house. And what is this world coming to, right? Is that really a great thing to do? And I'm mentioning that is because you got to be careful out there. There's there's a lot of different kinds of people out in the world, and it's a dangerous world when somebody's just going from one person's house to another person's house to just have a place to sleep for the night. And then a lot of things can happen, so you need to keep yourself safe out there. And your circle should be small. It shouldn't be really huge, because even like the wide way is the way of the destruction. And the more people you have in your life, it could cause a lot of problems. And I do know somebody right now is that they want to help other people out. Hey, I know people go through this. They're like, hey, my life is a mess right now, but I got people over here that they need help. So you got to be careful with that. Number one, take care of your ass first. Take care of you first. Get all your stuff, get your life in order. Get where you're stable. And, when you feel, now I'm able, that's why my YouTube channel is about be the change that you want to see in the world, is because I've been doing the inner work for years, and so I became picky through this time. I wasn't picky before, and I only had I had a friend before. I said I had a friend. Starlight was, I guess I was picky before, now that I think about it, because before I thought I only had one friend. Well, no, I guess I had other people, but I knew they weren't my friend. They weren't respecting me. They were doing things that I told them not to do. Starlight, if you ever meet Starlight, this just happened last night. Starlight does not want to shake hands. Starlight does not want to, give you a hug, because the energy. So you got to avoid you got to be really careful of who you have in your circle, and your circle shouldn't be large, because, if you want to work on yourself and you got a large circle, and how much time do you spend with these people, and there's going to be people that they're going to have, things that they need help with. And if your life isn't right, you got to take care of you can't help them out right now. You got to take care of you. That was Starlight before, always running around rescuing everybody else, I thought that was my full-time job. Oh, I got to run to my brother's house. I got to run to my mom and dad's house. My mom needs this, my brother needs that, and this other brother over here needs this. Oh, this brother over here wants me to spend time. I felt like, a tug of war, but like if I had, like everybody was pulling me in different directions. That's what's going to happen. So you got to really know who are the ones that are really there for you, and where you're going in the same path. You're going not the same path, but you're going in the same direction. We all have our own path that we're taking in life, but are you going in the same direction? And does that mean that those people are going to be perfect? Absolutely not. Am I? No, absolutely not. But what matters is when you know that somebody's been there for you, helping you to grow and giving you wisdom, giving you knowledge, and helping you to grow, being patient, not being pushy, showing you things and teaching you things that telling you things that you don't want to hear to help you grow. Those are the kind of people that you want in your circle. So like last night, I met a man, and this happens to me a lot. People first thing, because we've been programmed to handshake. Now it's all kinds of crap going on out there. It's like, this is how people are. It's like, I got to back up so you can fully see me, but this is how a lot of people are when they meet Starlight. Some people might try to hug. That would be the first thing, right? The next thing, what do you think the next thing is going to be? Shake hands. What do you think the next thing is going to be? Boom, or I don't like, I don't like this. That came from, I didn't see that until after COVID, and the elbow, now it's like this elbow thing, so I don't like that either. So anytime that people come up to me, they're always trying to, they're really touchy-feely. I'm not a touchy-feely person. Not at all. Only, like for even with my family, I'm not a touchy-feely person. I don't like having people touch me without them asking, hey, is it all right if I shake your hand? If it's all right if I give you a hug? Is it all right if I touch your, there's people that they are touchy-feely type. So you gotta, know what you can handle, but it's really important about this is because energy, they're touching you and, transferring, you don't know what all that stuff can really affect you, how it can affect you. So I am like, I want to be in this bubble right now, is just to, give myself a break from being around so many people, and there's people out there that their energy, I just had a guy yesterday, he was just like throwing up all over me, and he was actually standing up, but what was he doing? He was just throwing up all his, I said, wow, isn't that a beautiful day? And then he looked at me and I go, well, we woke up this morning, and then that's all I said. And before you know it, he's barfing all over me, and it just never stopped. And I was like, I want to be here to help this guy out. I was listening. Before you know it, an hour or even longer goes by. There goes my time. I was reading my Bible. So, I was starting my morning off, right, reading my Bible, and that screwed up my whole day. My whole rhythm, got thrown off. So you really got to be careful. What kind of people do you have in your life? Are they the kind that are always coming to you and throwing up, giving you a bunch of trash? Do they help you out? Do they help you, are they there for you? Or, is it always about them always wanting to take from you? Do they give you anything back? Not like negative stuff. And there's times that we have things that we're going through, and it's great to have a friend that we could talk to and we can trust, and we can say, hey, can I be vulnerable with you right now? I'm going through some stuff. And knowing that they're not going to judge you, and they know that it's not an everyday thing, that they're always vomiting on you, and throwing up, all the negative, and here this man was standing up, and I was sitting down in my space, in my aura field. So be there for the ones that care about you, the ones that love you, the ones that got your back. And this one of the stories that this man said is that he knew a lady, and she had her whole life ahead of her. She had a lot of things she was doing great, but she listened to the wrong person. She wanted to get with this guy, and apparently she didn't ask this man that was telling me the story of what do you think about this guy? He wanted her to say, hey, what do you think about this guy? He would have told her, no, don't go with him. But she didn't go to him because she probably already knew what he was going to say. So she went to somebody else. And anyway, she ended up getting cancer after that. Her whole life was, so it's a sad story, of what happened to this lady. But this is the kind of information, but it didn't stop there with this man. It just another horrible story. So that is what you got to watch yourself is, protecting your energy. And that's what I'm doing right now is protecting my energy. I just got sage. My car just got cleaned. And that's another thing is if you're having a lot of, you're feeling down a lot, feeling drained a lot, you might need to, clean up your house. Clean up your house. Or, like I just bought sage, white sage, before I think I had the wrong kind of sage and it was a bad effect. But so I cleaned up my car yesterday and I saged my car out last night. Last night was the first night I was able to actually sleep because the universe told me I had to do something with my car and I knew it was dirty and I needed money to be able to do that. And then I had to make it happen, And it's so awesome the way God is. God saw that I could have gone to a food pantry, but I didn't. I said, no, I really need to clean my car. I got money right here. And I went to the car wash and I didn't think ahead of time. I didn't have dollar bills. I had a card and I only had like 3/4 and change. And so I went up to a man and asked him if he had change. I said, for a quarter, if he had a quarter for change. And before you know it, really, this guy, all the quarters that he gave me paid for my car to get clean. Because see, I could have thought, oh, I need to go get it. And I did need to go to the food bank, but I had enough food for that day. And so it is awesome how God works, where God wanted me to the car was so important. The food could have waited. And God blessed me because I did the right thing by getting my car clean because it was so important to clean that. Shit happens in my car. And it's very hard living in my car and, keeping things clean. So God blessed me because of that. And so that's why your energy, your space is so important to have it cleaned and clean up. I have bleach and that's what I did. I bleached my car yesterday. I have little tablets of bleach. I didn't even know they had these, but it's great for me because it's just in a little container and I could just use it whenever I need it, and then I can, I don't have to have a big bottle of bleach taking up a lot of space. So that is what I did yesterday. It's so important to clean up your space. And when I say clean up your space, that also means the kind of people that you're inviting in your home. It's so important. Like this man in my aura field is, all that negative energy. And then, I end up meeting more people. And if you don't know somebody, you really got to protect yourself, And there's a lot of people out in the world. And when you don't know them, you kind of got to, take time. Don't be in a rush to get to know people. Take your time and understand that everybody's wearing a mask. They want you to see, what they think you want to see. And so you want to make sure you are picky of the kind of people you have in your life. You got to really analyze everything and say, are they really a good friend? Or, are they only there for me to help them out in their problems? And even though people can help you out, you got to be careful with that because it's a test. People can actually, give you things and act like they're helping you out to lure you in for the trap, and so you got to be careful. And the whole reason why I brought up the story with this man is that he said he didn't see this lady in a long time. And that's why if you really care about people and you love them, spend time with them. That's what this message is about, is to be careful who you put in your circle, but also the ones that you say you love them, you say that, you know, you're good friends with them. When's the last time you called them up? When is the last time that you did something with them? When is the last time you went out and let them know I appreciate you? How about family members? You know, it could be family members. It doesn't matter. You know, when's the last time that you, this is what, you know, I heard about this a long time ago. Give somebody their flowers today so you don't have to give them their flowers, you know, later on when they pass away. So it's so important now to really be there for the ones that have been there. You know, I have people, a person out there that really changed my whole life around, you know, and I respect that person so much. And it doesn't matter if you know, I'm not perfect and I know they're not perfect. And so we're not looking for perfect people to spend time with. We're looking for people that, even though they have flaws and we have flaws, that they are always working and they're striving to do the right thing. And they don't have to be perfect because nobody is. So if you're trying to look for that perfect person to be your friend, guess what? You're not gonna find it. But you want to be there for those that have been there in the past for you, those that have been there and helping you through hard times, you know, and to let them know how much you appreciate by doing something and giving them something back. And that could be all, it doesn't have to be money. It could be your time. It could be an ear, you know, to listen to them when they really need somebody to talk to. So really be mindful of the kind of people. Be there for them now, because you know what? Nobody's promised tomorrow. You don't know, just like that girl, you know, she was in all kinds of, you know, her whole life. She was doing so many things. She got mixed up with the wrong person, wrong energy. You know, that person had a lot of stuff inside of them, and it affected her life forever. Now, I don't know where the cancer came from, you know, how that came, but this man swears because of the stress and how she was treated, because that stuff can happen. You know, stress causes a lot of problems in our bodies. So you do have to be careful, you know, and you don't want people using you. You can test people out, but keep the ones that care about you, that they're really showing, and that they're not wearing a mask. You know, they're not actually faking it with you, that they've been there with you. You want to treasure those people and let them know how much, you know, it don't have to be their birthday to do something for them. You know, surprise them. Go, you know, take them out to dinner. Do something with them. Let them know that, you know, because if they did pass away, you know, God took them out of here, you know, you won't beat yourself up and saying, you know, that person, you're going to really regret it. You know, later on, you're going to be like, oh, you know, they were a great person and now I want that time with them, but now the time is not there anymore. So really be there for those that care and protect yourself like I am right now. I'm just time out right now. You know, I need to clear out my chakras. I need this time alone with myself. Instead of, you know, you got to be careful because, you know, there's people that want to jump into your life, you know, and they want to get to know you, and, you know, listen to your body, listen to what your intuition is saying. It's never going to steer you wrong. So if something doesn't feel right, and that's what you got to do, is listen to that and say, you know, no, Starlight, why don't you just, right now is just time to focus on your, you know, your projects that you're working on. You know, right now might not be the greatest time to get out there, and because there's people out there, they want to take from you, they want to take something that you have, and we have things that in us that we're not even aware of, and you got to be careful because there's energy vampires out there, and you gotta protect yourself. So be there for those who've been there for you. I love you so much. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. Plus, you could share my videos with your family or friends, and don't forget the notification bell, and check out my playlists. And you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight, love, light, and peace.